Hi, Andy Joels here with VideoCreditScore.com. Today we're going to talk about building your credit score from the very beginning. So the question is, for somebody who's a newbie to credit, how do you actually build up your credit score? So we'll talk about this. First, I want to give you a caveat to let you know this is going to take some time. It can take as little as 6 months. It can take as long as 18 months to build up a good credit score. And so let's jump in and talk about the things that you need to do. First thing you need to do is open up a bank account. And I want you to do this at a bank that has a full suite of banking products. We'll talk a little bit about this in a minute, but you want to make sure you're going with one of the bigger banks that offers lots of different products, because we're going to try to take advantage of a bunch of those products in building your credit. Second one is to get a social security number. If you don't have one of these already, you should get one. You probably do have one, but if you don't, you're going to need to do this. It's an important cog in the credit building process. Third thing I want you to do is open up a secured credit card. Now, the difference between a secured credit card and an unsecured credit card is that with a secured credit card, you're obviously securing it with something, with collateral. So you're going to say put down $500. You're going to give that to the bank as a deposit against a $500 limit card. And the reason I like doing this with a secured credit card is, even if you feel like you could get an unsecured credit card, this is a great way to establish credit and a great way for you to learn good credit behavior, because you're really learning how to be careful with this card. So I really like this idea. So once you've actually had all of these pieces for a few months, now it's time to open an unsecured credit card. And I want you to go back to the bank that you got your bank account with and your secured credit card with. Why? Well, you're going to have a much higher likelihood of being approved if you go through your bank, because they're not only going to look at your credit history or what's been built so far, but they're going to look at their history with you. You show them that you've had good behavior with your secured credit card, with your bank account, they're going to be much more likely to approve you. The other thing I want you to do is consider a personal loan. This is purely optional, but it's a good step to build your credit quickly. And the reason for this is you've built up a bunch of revolving credit with your credit cards, both secured and unsecured. If you get a personal loan, this is an example of an installment loan. And installment loans make up the other mixture of credit. So you've got your revolving credit and your installment credit. And that's why a personal loan, say just for a small amount, can really go a long way. Again, I'm going to point out that this is optional depending on how quick you're trying to actually build up your credit. It's an important step. So start checking your credit score every few months. This is something you're going to need to do to figure out when your score is starting to register, and when you go from being a no score person to actually having a score. And the other thing I want you to do is don't panic when your score finally appears and it's low. It's going to be likely that it's actually going to be lower because you're just in the building process. And one of the things that credit scores like is they like long histories. So this is actually a great reason of why you actually want to start when you're young and start doing good credit behavior. So that's it for building credit. You can find out more about this topic and other topics by visiting me at VideoCreditScore.com. You can also friend me up on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. We'll see you soon. Remember, everyone's situation is different. Be sure to contact a financial advisor or a credit counseling professional before making important financial decisions. This video broadcast is for educational purposes and not a substitute for receiving personalized professional advice.